Hello again, and for this review we're taking a look at the US release of the cult Italian sci-fi shocker Alien on Earth, which is being released to disc from Midnight Legacy.
Splashdown is scheduled for 9:45 Pacific Standard Time. Weather conditions in the splashdown zone are clear and favorable. The Navy is standing by to recover the capsule as soon as it hits the target area. Frogmen will then secure the flotation belt and open the entry hatch.
I'm sure older horror fans will have heard of Midnight Video, who back in the old VHS days used to distribute copies of hard-to-find exploitation horror titles. Well, it seems that they've finally gone legit, and the first title from their catalogue is Ciro Ippolito's Alien on Earth from 1980. Moving the action from outer space to deep underground, a group of cave explorers, including English actress Belinda Main and Italian regular and fellow director Michael Soavi, are preparing to go potholing inside the Colorado mountains, when reports start to come in on the radio that a group of astronauts have disappeared from their craft after it landed back on Earth. Climbing down inside the vast labyrinth of caves, one of them brings along some strange rock samples he claims were strewn all over the area. But it seems that these are no ordinary geological samples, as they subsequently hatch out and transform into large tentacled alien creatures that proceed to start chasing them around the tunnels. Soon lost, they find themselves being picked off one by the alien creatures, which it seems can take over your body and cause your head to explode. But even if they do manage to escape, what awaits for them above? Considered something of a lost cult classic, so far the film has only been available on a heavily censored long out-of-print German disc and on various DVD-R bootlegs from old VHS sources, so this one has been screaming out for a decent DVD release for quite some time now. Now this release by Midnight has been digitally remastered from the original negatives and looks very highly polished. In fact, as a result of this, there is actually quite a marked difference between the old NASA stock footage that's used at the start and the rest of the film, which wasn't as noticeable on the old VHS releases. Extras on the disc are limited to a selection of special effects outtakes and an English language trailer, which appears to have been taken from the old Dutch VHS release. Not a vast selection of special features, but at least they included the trailer on here, which I always enjoy seeing. The film is of course available on DVD and Blu-ray with the exact same extras on. Now, one thing I should point out is that the titles on this appear to have been newly generated, which is fine, but I think it's a bit odd that they've printed them in the original Italian and not English. I mean, this is an English language version, so if you're going to print new titles onto the film, then why not copy the ones from the old English language prints rather than the Italian ones? It is particularly troublesome at the end of the film because there's a caption right before the end credits that says something like, "You could be next," but because they've copied the Italian version, you won't have any idea what it says unless of course you understand Italian, or you've seen the old VHS version which was in English. But anyway, that is only a very, very minor point and should in no way detract from the rest of the movie. Now, obviously this film was released back in the day to cash in on Alien, and was even rather cheekily released as Alien 2 in Italy and some other European countries during the 80s, though the story itself seems to borrow rather heavily from some of those old Quatermass films. Also, I couldn't help but wonder if Neil Marshall didn't nick a few ideas from this movie when he came up with The Descent, but anyway, that's not for me to speculate. Anyway, as to whether you'll enjoy this, well, that depends on your love of 80s Italian horror movies. Now, the film is a bit slow to get going, but once it does, I thought it was quite enjoyable. Now, personally, this one is a guilty pleasure of mine. I mean, if you like Italian knockoffs, then you should enjoy this. It's actually better in my view than the similarly themed Descent I just mentioned, and it certainly makes an excellent companion piece to Contamination in any case. So, if you like those, then I would say, yeah, check this one out.